home to cable cars, the Presidio, and the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco will soon be home to what is being considered to be the most sustainable urban office building in the U.S., the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission headquarters. The 12-story, $178 million, 254,000 square foot tower will be located on Golden Gate Avenue near City Hall.
What will make the PUC building the most sustainable urban building in the United States is the combination of energy production on the building itself through the use of wind turbines and solar panels, and combined with a super efficient envelope which will harvest daylight and minimize the energy demands of the occupants of the building.
Energy efficiency, water recycling, and reduced carbon footprint are all key factors in the design.
The energy efficiency features of this building include a variety of different measures. We have located a series of wind turbines on the building in a number of locations. We have incorporated solar PV cells also in a couple of locations on the top of the building, as well as embedded actually in the glass of the building itself. And then we have incorporated what we call thermal chimneys. These are exhausts that help to allow the building to exhaust its own heat throughout the day, all of which adds up to producing 40% of the energy needed for the building on the building itself. One of the most interesting things about this building is how we've incorporated wind turbines into the building. Most people are familiar with the idea of wind turbines, and they see them out in the landscape like a series of propellers rotating in the wind, but not really familiar with the idea of incorporating it in the building. It's a very new technology. In our case, we've actually used it as part of the architecture of the building. The north facade of the building, the north face of the building, actually is shaped in order to try to accelerate the wind and draw it in and past a vertical wind tower and a kind of a vertical airfoil that helps to draw the wind, accelerate it, and thus create a greater amount of energy out of the wind turbines themselves. By incorporating photovoltaics and wind turbines in the building, we generate 40% of our own energy and thus reduce the carbon footprint of the building. So much so that we exceed the local building codes, a code called Title 24, by up to 60%.
KMD is the recipient of over 200 prestigious design awards, including over 40 from the AIA, American Institute of Architects. Its distinctive designs have been completed in over 30 U.S. states and 15 countries around the world. 2 Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, the Ford Field Stadium in Detroit, the W Hotel in Mexico City, Nadia Park in Nagoya, Japan, and the Passy Plaza in Paris, France are just a few of the firm's notable projects.
What's shaped and inspired my work as an architect is number one, an appreciation and a celebration of urban context and a desire to enhance the meaning of life through architecture. That tied with sustainability and a concern about sustainability, which leads to the third piece, which is its effect on human performance. We believe that the combination of these two elements lead to greater meaning, greater health, and a higher level of human performance.
Our work reflects a real variety, and it's simply because each and every project and each and every location is significantly different, and we believe that each project therefore should reflect its surroundings.
Placemaking is an architectural term which means that one is striving to provide more meaning through architectural design to a particular building or set of buildings. And this can be very important because it's important through architecture to provide for society additional meaning, inspire society to the future. And we do this through integrating the buildings with their physical setting and making sure there's a seamlessness to that, although the building also needs to stand out to reflect its special meaning. That's tied to a concern for environmental setting, angle of the sun, wind, topography, to ensure that the building flows with those forces and doesn't fight them.
Creating a sense of place at San Francisco's Public Utilities Commission building entailed many facets.
Creating a sense of place or placemaking is an important part of what the purpose of this building is all about. through the demonstration that this building will provide of what can be done with green strategies and energy generation and so on and so forth. And by drawing people to it, to learn about it, to view it, and to be intrigued by it, it will have a transforming effect on this part of San Francisco, which is really what the mission is all about.
The building's design will benefit the environment as well as the 1,000 plus employees that it will house.
Well, it's important to respond to human needs. Well, first, architecture has always responded to the basic needs of shelter. We now have, at this point in history, the ability to not only to respond to that basic need, but also to use architecture and building design as a vehicle to enhance human performance, increase human health, and I believe a higher level of spirituality and a greater meaning to life.
Human performance and well-being and the longevity and usefulness of the building is one of the most important things about sustainability. And so we did significant benchmarking and research as we began this project to really understand what we could and couldn't affect. Among the most significant factors is really the inclusion of natural light and in the environment, because people respond much better to natural light and therefore are much more productive.
Construction will soon be underway and is expected to be complete in the fall of 2009. For more information, visit www.kmdarchitects.com or call 415-398-5191.